I guess that's pointed back at me. Oh my goodness. No! Let me tell you about my phone. My phone is not cooperating with me because it's telling me that I need to rotate my phone. Look at this. This this star has all these things on it. You know what it kind of looks like? It looks like a spiky ball. Hello. I'm going to shrink it back down so we can have it a little bit brighter. And this is one that I've zoomed up around 3 times the last time I've zoomed up in the dead smack center of the southern sky. That's what we got going on. Good evening, everyone. I'm going to try to rotate this, but I got my silly tripod again that's not cooperating with me. Boom, you see how it's, boom, it came out. Gina, you just leave it alone. I'm going to leave it be. I tried for an hour to live stream from my office on my OBS because I was going to show the waterfalls. I was going to live stream and it would not connect me on my OBS. So that's going to be on hold until I get that OBS straightened out. But those waterfalls are beautiful. I wanted to like make a big long video and they said no, it wouldn't even let me connect. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Greetings, hola. I had a mini vacation. I really would prefer to have miniature vacations. I really would. There are a lot of stars around this star. It's a nice looking star. But these are celestial beings. They really are. And this has a reddish glow to it. Thank you, Jessica. Shalom. It's nice in Canada. And it's nice that we're able to get to zoom up on this celestial being in the sky. It really is. Julian, well, that was the waterfall I shared on here. It was just a teeny tiny one compared to the ones that I went to. And that's what I wanted to live stream, but it didn't happen tonight. I guess it wasn't meant, so I just need to get over it. Some things don't happen when we want them to happen. They happen when they're supposed to happen. You know, this makes the star look half cut off because it told me I needed to rotate my phone when I didn't. Yeah. You see your brothers in that ship. Hello, hola. Yes. You got notified? That's welcome. Welcome back. Thank you. It's good to be back home. And I slept good one night. One night. It's not the same when you go somewhere other than you're sleeping in your own house is a lot better than sleeping in a place that you don't live. Yes, they are living sentient beings. I agree with you. Shalom, Amawan, Ihad, Ibad. Yeah, and I wanted also to, oopsie, you gotta try to get this over there. I can't, it's cut off half the star. Cut off half the star. It's not very nice. I wanted to like do videos like this, but it wasn't meant because I forgot my cell phone holder for my eyepiece at home. Brought everything else but that. Hello, everyone. Yeah. Destiny, they very well might be chariots of the Most High God. They really very well may be. Thank you, Michelle. Yes. Prayers to shake a heaven and the earth. Newfoundland. Yeah, yeah. let me, I'm sorry that star got half cut off, but it told me I had to rotate my phone, and I really didn't have to rotate it, but it told me I had to rotate it, and it messed up my viewing because it did it like that. So yeah. Because that's a good question. Okay, you know, when I was sitting there laying down trying to go to sleep last night, I was thinking about these stars, and you know how I did the video of them changing colors. And I called the video Stars Are Celestial Beings, and I showed all the different colors that the star changed, all that I could capture on the 11 frames of the live photo. And you know what it reminded me of? If you remember when you was a child, the little glow worms, or when your children were little, they had these glow worms that made different colors. And it reminded me of these right here. And then you had to ask yourself, why do they have children's toys that made different colors like that? And the same thing with the Simon Says thing, where it was that circle thing and you pushed the button and it lit up. Yeah, but I remember my little son or daughter, they had the little glow worms. Yeah. You're very welcome, Rita. Yeah. And I think that little gummy cartoon, I think that probably has something to do with things too. And I think maybe The Land of the Lost, if you all ever watched that when you were little. I remember that coming on Saturday mornings, so they somehow ended up in the Land of the Lost. I think it was in the Middle Earth or something. I believe that's quite possible, that under the earth there is a whole entire another land. Giants and stuff under there. Waterfalls and rivers and trees and grass. Thank you. This is driving you crazy. You think? Lala. No, no, no. Yeah. I do like zooming up on these at night. I really do. And I'm glad I'm not in bed already, because I'd missed zooming up on these stars. I made it go out of the viewing window for a moment. See, it told me I needed to change they are messing with my cell phone and stuff. Yeah, with the Tyrannosaurus Rex chasing them, that's right. The inner earth, yes. It's like that movie, Journey to the Center of the Earth. Barbara, that's fine. Thank you very much. We're looking at this celestial being. It's like a star and has an orangish reddish glow in the southern sky. I've zoomed up on it before in live videos just recently. San Francisco. I've been there once, and I went across the Golden Gate Bridge, and I saw that island where they held the prisoners. Alcatraz, I think that was in California. Yeah, Hollow Earth, Argartha. Yes, Frank, that's true. The cabal has a vacation under there. That's all right. When they supposed to come out, they'll be flushed out of the earth. They won't have nowhere to hide. They will not. Kimberly, that's not the moon. Although sometimes I think the moon is a living being also at times. Some of the giants and stasis are way down there in the Grand Canyon. I heard about that the Grand Canyon is not what they said. It was not formed the way that they said it was formed. And they had these big old rocks. I forget what the name of them were when we was in Tennessee. Lichenden or something. They had scales on them. They had scales like fish, and they were great big rocks. And they said something caused. It was like trees or something with scales. But you know what? I don't know about all this stuff they tell us. Because it really did look like petrified scales on big, giant boulders. Grand Canyon imposed by the military. Boom. Yes. No, you're right. Near Arkham House, you're absolutely right. It's like here on the banks of the Ohio River. There were giants here. They were red-headed giants, like I guess, oh, Celtic Norsemen or whatever. And they found the big bones. There was a big battle that took place with the natives. Um, and their skeletons were there. And then they gathered up all the big bones. Somehow the Smithsonian came into being. And then they started getting all these large skeletons, gathering them. And you know what they did? They dumped them in the ocean to erase the history. So we wouldn't know that there were giants in the land. Yeah. Oh, Mary, that's right. Yeah, there are giants. And then I remember when I was a child, you see this Andre the Giant. They would parade him around, and they said he had a disorder, some kind of something that caused him to be tall. But you know, there were large giants back in ancient times, a race of giants. I think it was what, the Nephilim or something like that. Boom. 60-foot tall giants in Peru. Rob, wow. Red giant watchers. There are watchers in the sky. A mountain, they said it really used to be a giant tree. Yes, and that's very sad when you hear about that Jamale Hayu. They cut it down. That is very, very sad. Yeah, Andre was proportional. No, I haven't really seen much. I haven't hardly had time to even look at my Twitter. I get on there every now and then. Like this video, I'll probably share it to my Twitter tomorrow. It's just, summertime's very busy for me. A skull was the size of a VW car. The giant of Kandahar in Afghanistan. Oh, I never heard of that one, Julian. Yeah, have giants larger than the buildings. Your building is 3 stories high. Yes, let's hope we don't see those type of giants again, but we may. We may see those big giants again with our own eyes, because I think they're probably still existing somewhere. Mud fossil, you know, I haven't seen that. Dragons, yeah. We have a collection, my daughter has a collection of these real pretty dragons, hand-painted dragons, and they are, I don't know, they make them themselves, and they hand-paint them themselves, and they're like a turquoise and gold. They're very beautiful, very expensive too, that she's collected over the years. I believe dragons did exist, and they probably still exist, but we aren't seeing them. Dr. Mary, yeah, we would be ants. You're absolutely right. A mile high. Yeah. Yeah, Joseph, Cynthia. Yes, some of the things Joseph shares, that they are so interesting because he zooms up on those beings and the stars. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what are they doing in there? You have to ask yourself, what are those beings doing in those yellow stars that he's zooming up on their crafts? But there's all these brown-headed beings in there. You've been seeing dragons fly by in the size of birds. Oh my gosh. Imani Shah. The giant in Afghanistan was red hair. And what some in the military, when they shot him in the head, he died. David had, yeah, cut off Goliath's head. Yeah. Yeah, this stuff is real, what's happening in our world. And they don't tell us all of it. They keep it to themselves. God bless you too, Elvis. Andre the Giant was behind you in a store in Maples, and his hand was the size of my head. Oh my gosh. Wow, Susan, that's Very interesting. Um, where the location is in Salem, Indiana with this right now. We're streaming live from Salem, Indiana, out in the country. Boom, boom, boom. The king of Genesis. Yeah. Those beings could be getting energy from the sun. Birds in the morning when you hear them chirping. I love to hear the birds chirping in the morning. Just think for 2 years, I never got to hear the birds in the morning because I had to work second shift. I didn't have to, but I did because I liked it. And then, boom, I had no life. So I resigned from my job. Now I've got my life back. And I love it. I really do. The Ring of Fire eclipse happens tomorrow night. You know, I stood out one night, and I think it was in the winter, filming an eclipse like that. King Og, Wisconsin. Well, we're just talking about giants and stuff. This is a star, but it's a celestial being. It's a sentient being up there in the southern sky. In the book of Enoch, the giants are 3,000 elis high. I did read some of that before, and I listened to it on audio. It's very interesting. It is, Kimberly. It's really neat. The Lord is giving visions. Yeah. Giants in a tunnel, huge UFOs. Jupiter on top of the earth. Oh, wow. Summer solstice. 10 p.m. California. Will you try to get the video? If I see the eclipse here, if they don't have our skies covered up, I'm going to try to get a video on it because I think it's so exciting. I really do. Yeah, and I think there's a lot of other books they hid from us too that's probably just as informative, and a lot of manuscripts. And then you have to ask yourself, why did they burn up all the books? When they do that, they burn up all the books because they don't want no history of nothing. The abundance of the UFO articles lead you to believe our government's getting ready closer to disclosure. Boom. You're welcome, Sylvia. You're so welcome. It feels so nice out here. I'm glad I can stand on my porch and just film this star, not in the grass, and get ate up by mosquitoes. Yeah. Hiding all the books. You heard the Kandahar story, the red-headed Nephilim. Yeah. And they were here before Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus was not the first here, but that's what they've told us. And you know, I believe my ancestors, the Native American Indians, who knows where all they went, since they erased some of their history too. And you can't go very far back and look at the history of your ancestors if you have Native Americans. You cannot. It just boom, they stopped the trail, and you don't get to look any further. The archives, I bet it would. It's I think there was a movie about them going looking in the archives of the Vatican. Something about treasure, national treasury, or national treasure. You couldn't play that waterfowl video. Yeah, I've seen Above Majestic. They do talk a lot in that, and it's hard for me to sit and listen to people talk. But they have something very interesting to say. The text with Christopher Columbus saying that he has seen a UFO. Yeah. No, this is just beautiful celestial being, and it's got a, I don't know about it. I'm sure it does have a name. Yeah, this is the same one from the southern sky. And this star just happens to be dead smack in the middle of two other stars that are not as bright. That's all I could tell you. Love and light to everybody. Yep. Christy Olson, you share wonderful views. Your voice is also healing. You know, someone told me that today. The sound of my voice is very healing. Um, and it could be quite possible. If it heals, if it's healing to them, then I guess it is healing. There were caves in the Grand Canyon with Egyptian artifacts. Ah, yes, and the Smithsonian hid them. They probably dumped them in the ocean too. Donna, the Lord is returning with his UFOs, and Ezekiel, the horse of the Bible Shepherd channel. And it could, quite possibly could, since they talk about the Ezekiel wheel, and then Jesus ascended up into a cloud. Boom, just right up, straight up, boom. Yeah. Ah, that's wonderful to hear. That's wonderful to know, Christy. I certainly would. I would not want to have an irritating tone. I know you all have heard and you have spoke to people who have very, very irritating tones, and it's just like, oh my gosh. You know, it literally, you can feel the negativity in their voice. I'm trying to move this back over to try to move it back over. Yeah. Nephilim, the Nephilim is fallen angels, right? The Nephilims were giants. And I guess they did say they were fallen angels, or they were the offspring of the fallen angels. I think that might have been how it went. The Lyra constellation was referred to the Northern Star 10,000 years ago, and the fifth brightest star during this time. Okay, yeah. I think I missed a conversation. Do you know the Pope has been, yeah, I heard about that too. Yeah. You believe there's going to be a false invasion as well, and the governments can take away any more. Well, if it actually happens, I don't think it's going to be false. If you see extraterrestrials come down in their ships, can I tell you, I love these lightning bugs out here. There's so many of them. I love them. They're so bright. The Project Bluebeam could happen. You didn't know the giants were fallen angels. I'm pretty sure. I thought I read that they were the offspring of the angels, the Nephilim, that they had them with the sons of God came down to the daughters of men. They found that the daughters of men were, I don't know, pretty or something, and they had children with them. First one of the ones, whatever the word, yeah. Gina, they used to block all of our photos until we got things that can see enough of them. And I know, Gina, you are being tampered with. Oh, I am being tampered with. The Anunnaki, yeah, that's right. Love is the highest intelligence. I wholeheartedly agree with you, Lala Velar. I really, love is the most important thing to have on the inside of you. Yeah, the queen is gone. Reminiscent depicts of the UFO. I seen that, Julian, what you're talking about in a painting. Most of the people in the world do not have a clue what is happening in the world. I believe you. They really don't. Where did the pygmies come from? That's a good question. Love is the universal language, and I love it. I love it. Yes, I do. I don't know the name of this. All I know is this celestial being up here, this star. It has a reddish tint, and it was kind enough to let me zoom up on it so we could view it. That's what I would like to say. Yeah. I'm getting tired. Boom, 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 boom. something has faces in it. Extraterrestrials will come to Earth because the government is trying to open the portals to let demons into our dimension. Well, I want to respond to that. Jahamale, who they don't have to let the demons here because they are already here. All you have to do is take a look around wherever you are and look in the news. If that is not evidence of these demons being on this earth, and if you look at all the wars that have taken place on this earth, I'd say that was not of the love of the light, okay? I think it was evil, darkness, demons that want bloodshed. That's what they want. So they don't have to open up portals to get them here because they're already here, and they've been here since the beginning of time, causing havoc. But guess what? Their days are numbered, and they know it. They're numbered, and their darkness will be no more. That's how it's going to happen. It'll be no more, and they know it. So that's why they're doing everything they can to take out as many people as they can with them and destroy as many people and lives and all that. So yeah, the reptilians, that's right. The new king of the King George Hartlett, yeah. CERN, yeah, CERN, I don't like CERN. No, that's not nice of CERN at all. I've watched movies where they've used this stuff like that to open up portals and they never could close them. So yeah, well, and in a sense, they can bring even worse bad energy than what's already here. But we won't talk about that because it doesn't deserve to be talked about. It really doesn't. The only thing that deserves to be talked about is love, love and light and goodness, all things that are good. That is what is worthy of being talked about. Not any other negativeness, because that will bring down our vibration, that'll bring down our spirits, and we won't have nothing to be happy about because that will consume us. Yeah. Sylvia, yeah, the red pill. Yes. We all been waiting, watching, wondering. Yes, it is. It's like a song. It's like the song says, I don't care what they say, I won't live in a world without love. Love. The oldest property is the Hermit of Loreto. Donna, I've never heard of that. The Hermit of Loreto. That's kind of interesting. I like reading when I've got time, history and stuff. I don't care what you say, I won't in a world without love. Well, I like to sing. I do. And I really want to get together, I really want to put together a live stream video. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah. Good night to all and lots of love. Thank you, Rob Armstrong. The Hermit of Loreto in the early 90s. The sun's doing its work in the gamma rays, which will be transformed to 144 elect. I read something about that 144 elect. Is it really an actual 144,000? Is it just 144? There's a lot to learn. There's a lot to wait and see how it happens with a lot of things. Thank you, Sylvia. Oh, you're all very welcome. Yeah. I've only been on here for 29 minutes. 29:30. I'll probably get off of here in 30 seconds so I can probably go to bed because I'm getting a tad bit tired. Yeah. March, yeah. The CERN stuff. I wouldn't be surprised about that CERN stuff. Well, there's a lot of clones happening in this world. All you have to do is look at the people who are prominent in the news, type in their name, and Google the images and put a filter on it and say within the last week. And you'll see that certain individuals in certain photos look like totally different individuals. So there's lots of clones out there. I like doing that from time to time. But then it gets old because you know that there's clones. Yes, good night, everyone. Um, and with this being said, I hope you all have a wonderful evening and a wonderful day, morning, wherever you're at. And I'm going to try to get myself some sleep. Blessings to you all also, and I'm so happy to be home. I really am. And just think, this is me time that I get to do this with you all. It's my time that I get to have to myself. I love it. I really do. Yeah. You eat green apples. Aww. Yes, good night, everyone. Good night. Oopsie. I guess I'll click this off of there. Good night. Love and light to you all, too.